Hello everybody, welcome back to 2CTV with another breaking news update for you guys from Seoul, the capital of South Korea, as the president is now losing support left, right and center following the announcement earlier on, about an hour ago or so, which reported that the president decided to declare martial law, accusing the political left in South Korea, some of them being sympathizers when it comes to the North Korean communists, and also because of the division over the budget announcement. Obviously in April, the conservative side in South Korea, the People Power Party, obviously the president is in charge of that, lost control of parliament. And the Democratic Party, who are the left-wing party in South Korea, managed to take control of parliament, but the presidency is controlled by the conservative side. Since then, they've been blocking everything left, right and center. That's the problem with these sort of republics as a system. It doesn't actually work anyway. And now, today, obviously, he made the announcement about martial law. The army have taken control of the streets. Everything has been banned. Political activities banned. Demonstrations, protests banned. But it hasn't actually stopped people in South Korea. They have risen up, and there are now currently clashes outside parliament. There was already a vote just now by parliamentarians to lift the martial law, 190 versus 0. So even the conservative-leaning MPs from the president's party also voted against him. We now have the army taking control of the streets. They have stormed parliament. They are trying to take control of parliament. They are stopping parliamentarians from actually moving around outside the parliamentary building, the National Assembly. We have some videos to show you, and of course all the other reaction is coming. There is now a coup that's been launched by the left-wing leader, the socialist leader Lee Jae-myung, which we're going to talk about in a second. He's currently in his car or in a taxi on his way towards a parliament, or he was about half an hour ago. Let's go to some of the videos that we have so far. The whole thing is crazy. This is supposed to be a democratic republic in South Korea, but this is what we're dealing with.
아니 막는 게 말이 돼?
국회로 왜 못 들어가게? 여기.
We now have confirmation that the troops are now leaving Parliament, obviously after Parliament decided to vote to lift these emergency measures. President has seemed to have lost this battle. Now, of course, the socialist leader is going to be making a move against the president. We now have the latest video that we have showing the armed forces and the officials, the security forces, leaving Parliament following the vote. Let's go to this video. The situation is completely insane. Of course, now the parliament side, that's controlled by the left-wing party, are now declaring that president is no longer legitimate and they want his government to fall. The presidency, it's becoming, obviously, this is all changing every 2 minutes. So obviously, anything report, we might change it in the next few minutes. But let's talk about the socialist leader, Lee Jae-myung, who, in case you're not familiar with this person, he's a left-wing populist leader. He was a lawyer turned reformist. And obviously, he's been focusing on all the socialist-leaning policies, including universal basic income nonsense and free school lunches, free school meals, and many other things, nationalization of industries. But he's been quite obviously bold in his activism. He was a governor, obviously, and his policies obviously have been focusing on the scandals and corruption allegations. There's been a lot of stuff he had to deal with personally. Some call him a freedom fighter, obviously, but a lot of others say he's basically a communist sympathizer. We do have the latest video from him, Myung, in a car as he was making his way towards the center of Seoul. Let's quickly go to that video and see what he had to say. We have it translated for you guys.
비상계엄을 선포했습니다. 비상계엄을 선포할 아무런 이유가 없습니다. 군대가 이 나라를 통치하게 내버려 둘 수는 없습니다. 검찰에 의한 이 폭력적 지배도 부족해서 총칼을 든 무장 군인들이 이 나라를 지배하려고 합니다. 그리고 국군 장병 여러분, 여러분에게 명령을 내릴 수 있는 것은 오로지 국민뿐입니다. 윤석열 대통령은 국민을 배반했습니다. 윤석열 대통령의 불법적인 비상계엄 선포는 무효입니다. 지금 이 순간부터 윤석열 대통령은 대한민국 대통령이 아닙니다.
We're getting some latest breaking news for you guys as people are celebrating outside Parliament. This is quite fascinating. This is the most short-lived martial law I've seen in modern history. Considering that the president has now lost support of his own party, a lot of people are wondering how long he will last. His government will last. Well, his presidency essentially, because obviously we have the parliament controlled by the Democratic Party. Let's quickly go to the video, the latest video we've just received, showing people celebrating in Seoul. Now let's see how long it will last for the left-wing parties and the left-wing opposition to make a move against the president. There is more updates in case you missed all the mess that happened earlier, because there was a lot of chaotic scenes outside Parliament. First, you had the demonstrations, which were banned, obviously, during the last hour or so when we had the martial law. Then you had the troops, the army, trying to storm Parliament, and then they blocked the entrance. Let's quickly go to those videos as well, in case you missed them, because it just shows the chaotic, but lack of organization from the president's side. Let's go to those. Yeah, that was earlier on. By the way, a quick correction on TCTV. The previous live stream we showed, obviously, all this footage are all up to date, but there one image of one of the tanks that we showed you. One of them was correct, but the other one was actually incorrect. That was from January, but it was still similar situations, similar scenes that we've had, the tanks being on the streets. But that one was actually from January, or a while ago, I think. Which just to correct that, obviously, for those if you watched that live update. Now, it is quite concerning because the president, technically being from the conservative side, a lot of people say he still had a point that there was a left-wing coup about to happen. But I think his overreaction to the threat, which was to declare an emergency, state of emergency, and call for the martial law, was because it was an overreaction. Even his own party, a lot of them decided not to support it. So I think the whole thing has massively backfired on the president himself and on Seoul. But now, does that mean that the left-wing side could take control of the presidency? Yeah, so we do have the latest video, which I believe this is now the tanks leaving. Again, these are very similar to the old images, but I think this is the latest video that we have. Reportedly, just to clarify, these are the latest videos of showing the tanks in Seoul. Right, now, while we are here, let's quickly get some reaction from the live chat. Bob says reunification of Korea through communism is what's happening. And clearly, to be fair, the actions of the conservative president didn't really help. It kind of made it worse to a point. There is definitely an element of communist sympathizers in South Korea anyway, but for the past few decades, they've been containing that threat. But that's what happens. Nancy said, God bless you, Maya, for your reporting on this. Thank you so much, Nancy. Really does sound like Starmer. But it kind of reminded a lot of people. I've been speaking to some friends over the last few minutes on this issue. And the funny thing about this, by the way, those were not tanks. Someone corrected this, APCs. It's just layman terms. Everybody calls everything tanks these days. It's easier, but they're not official tanks. We were talking about this, about the Brexit negotiations. Parliament was controlled by pro-EU rejoiners and Ramonas. And we were saying, well, we could have had a similar thing if at the time the Queen, Elizabeth II, she could have basically taken control of Parliament to force parliamentarians to do Brexit. But obviously we don't do that in this country. So last time that happened, Charles I, whoopsie, lost his life. Fate says, it's another lefty coup. That's all this is. And people are so dumb to keep falling for it. But that's the thing. So as I said, while the president's actions are kind of backfiring, it doesn't mean there was no left-wing threat. That's the reality. Now people are seeing the left-wing side as the victims. It is absolutely fascinating. So, anyway, let's get some more reaction. We have this one saying, I last longer in bed than this martial law. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Mark says, you know, this would be a bad time for Fat Boy Kim up north to get a little frisky and say it's time to invade. Well, for the record, Kim's minions are currently, a lot of them, the professional ones, are currently in Ukraine. So they're obviously helping the Russians defeat the Ukrainians. So I don't think there's going to be any sort of threats from the North Korean side tonight, at least, or tomorrow, when it comes to invasion. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, let's see if we have any more updates on this. It's developing fast. Yeah, we have the latest video showing the South Korean soldiers leaving the National Assembly in Seoul. Let's quickly... It's absolutely interesting how quickly things changed. martial law announced, the soldiers were very, very hardcore, and now they're being friendly, leaving everything because they have to do their job. Obviously, as they said in Germany, they were just following orders, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the soldiers leaving Parliament. They're just walking away. We're just going home now. Let's take a nap. Everything's fine. Nothing has happened. Oh, so someone said that Dawn says this has Rocket Man's sister written all over. I mean, she's a psycho, Kim's sister, but I don't think she's that clever. To be fair, she's quite calculative. But no, I don't think this is actually her doing it. She's got other things to worry about, including bringing down her own brother. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you guys posted on this. Seems like the martial laws are over, and now we have the coup against the president to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.